This we had hoped would outlive Alex Scott, outlive the PLP government at the time, outlive just a first blush discussion and debate and green paper in Parliament, and still be in existence as time goes on. We were trying to institutionalize change.
Thank you, former Premier Scott, for sitting down with us and talking today about public access to information. It's an honor to spend some time with you.
So pleased to be here.
Let's go back to the start. What gave you the idea or the vision to bring public access to information to Bermuda?
The short answer is my background was in communications. I was a public relations consultant before I came to political life and activity. And I was also maybe 10 years into my political involvement, made a member of the Pitt Royal Commission, where we were authorized as commissioners to subpoena the government of the day, the ministers, to require from them information pertaining to the subject that we were investigating. And once I had that real life experience, I thought it would be very constructive if the Bermuda public had the empowerment or the ability to ask, as we as commissioners, the ministers, asked of their government questions about their decision-making process. And the rest became just a matter of research into what existed, what legislative tools could we call upon to be able to provide the public with that sort of ability. And PATI was born.
And it was born with some brothers and sisters too, wasn't it? It was part of a larger good governance reform process. Why is good governance so important?
It was important to us then, and it is important to the public universally, in that if you underscore the importance of the government to serve the populace who put them there, then it follows. It becomes a natural event. I cheated a bit. I arrived to the position of premier from a background in communications. I was a public relations consultant. And in that regard, I knew from experience, daily experience, the importance of communicating with the public, whatever initiative, or in the case of the private sector, whatever service you had. You can have a wonderful idea, but if it's a light hidden under a bushel, it doesn't mean anything. You can have all sorts of policy initiatives, but unless the public are engaged, informed, and believe in it and in the government that starts it, you don't have the marriage between the initiator and the recipient of the service.
And you're touching on the benefit to the public authority of the PATI Act too. A decision that comes out of that kind of engagement with the public is more legitimate. It's more powerful as well. The public authority has the opportunity to vet its ideas and to get the feedback, to improve its decision making, to improve its process, and then hopefully have the support of the public as well for the decisions that it's making or the programs or services it's rolling out. It makes us make better decisions. One of the things that's so strong about the PATI Act is that it is an enforceable right to access public information. So in some countries, they may have access to information legislation, but an information commissioner can only make a recommendation to the public body to release the information. But the law that you envisioned, the right that you envisioned, has been put into place and put into effect here as an enforceable right. So our office, and I as information commissioner, am loyal to the act. We're loyal to what information should be put in the hands of the public. And when a member of the public appeals to our office, we can issue an enforceable decision that requires a public body to release the information or the record that someone's asking for, or to appeal the decision. And that is a very, very strong right to put into the hands of the people.
That is music, or should be music, to the general public's ears and perception, an enforceable right.
Right.
You can't ask any more than that of your position as a citizen, and that there is an authority that can go to a premier, go to a minister, can go to a civil service office and say, I have concern or the desire to know A, B, C, D, E, and whatever it is, and their concern is enforceable. I think we become a stronger community because of that. We become a better community because of that, because where there is doubt, where there is ignorance, meaning unawareness, there is the potential for someone somewhere to exploit the rights of the citizen. And that enforceable right that you just articulated puts a brake on that. I still have one or two friends in government, and when they are considering policy, when they are considering documenting anything, one of the first things they consider, how will this work in the hands of PATI, the PATI commissioner? They are aware of your existence as they document what they're doing. What does this mean? They hesitate before doing something questionable because they know that PATI can enforce the right of the public to come and see what they did or what they were doing, what they were thinking in the course of the daily administration of the island. And that, too, is what we hoped would happen.
How do you think that public access to information could be strengthened or made better for the public, for Bermudians and residents?
Through use by the public. It's their turn now. You have and we have put the infrastructure in place, the administrative infrastructure in place. We've gone on for a few minutes about how it exists at the parliamentary level, how it exists from the civil servants service, but now it has to be used by the public. And your question was how it could be strengthened. Through use, we'll see areas in which we can make a better mousetrap, make it more relevant, pertinent, and user-friendly. You could continue to pile on review and nuances to how you operate daily, but if the public doesn't put it through the test of use, so there is a responsibility on the public. It's been created, now use it. And as you use it, it in turn will evolve and become almost tailor-made for this community.
Right. Because it's true, if you have a right that's meant to empower the public, you can't empower someone for themselves.
No. It's not. It's their turn now.
Right. It has been such a pleasure to spend some time talking with you about public access to information. Your perspective is unique and so important to the growth in Bermuda of good governance and these reform measures. So thank you very much for your time. And I want to ask you one last question. What's your hope now for Bermuda and public access to information?
For the unexpected. What do I mean by that? The unforeseen, the unexpected is when something goes into practice and you have a reality change. That is, by your office existing, by the practice of questioning the decision makers, there is the potential and the possibility of there being a further development that we didn't anticipate. Something, and I don't mean necessarily problematic, as I mean constructive coming out of it. It may be that as we talk now about the public using it, we may find the education system adopting it, seeing merit in it, and circulating the whole notion of the ICO's office, public access to information, to our young people. That'll do two things. It will give it a life beyond this moment, a life beyond the immediate history, and the young folks may, through their smartphones, through their desire to know and be involved, start to use PATI and the enforcement of the right to information in a way that we didn't anticipate. And that may give it a dimension and a life beyond well, at 79, it's not going to be hard to be beyond my existence, but beyond all of us. Right. That when you look back another 30, 40, 50 years and you see the office and the practice, we say, well, I never thought that it would come to this. And that's not a bad thing. It's really now part and parcel of everyday life in Bermuda. That would be nice.
It's amazing to be a part of this moment of that cultural shift,
yeah,
and the possibility and potential.
Yeah.
That's